Hello everyone, it's Veronica and I am going to be making a necklace today, and as you can see I have it set like this because otherwise I would forget. I have been here for 2 hours trying to design something and it's driving me crazy, and I'm sure a lot of you who do design, you absolutely understand. So I did want to let you know that I'm kind of revisiting back on the March bargain bead box because I do have a lot of that stuff left over. And this here is it is made from an abalone shell, I believe, and this leaf, it's made into a feather rather, and this actually came from the one of my other subscriptions, but I am going to use it because I'm just really think it's pretty, and I want it to be with beautiful beads. So I have that that we're going to use today. And as you know, with the Amazonite or Amazonite, it does go beautiful with copper. I'm going to be using a couple of the wood beads here, and this is the matte 8mm Amazonite, and these here, these were just I guess dipped in color, so it's like a crackle glass shaped like a little bell. So I will be sealing those so that the color does not come off of those. And I have some of the, bead caps here. These are the scrolled bead caps. I have, this is one of those scrolled, I guess puffed spacer bead. Also, it matches the scrolled bead caps. I have some copper jump rings. I hope that I will have enough. I have this beautiful, it's like this brushed lobster claw clasp, and I always check to make sure that they are working properly. I have some head pins, and this was memory wired. It is very thick and very hard to maneuver. So I just cut off a piece, and I actually it took me a while, but I already have it in this position. So basically I had kind of like a little bit of a half moon shape, and then I just twisted it the other way so that I have a little area here where I'm going to hang this feather from. So join me, and because I'm going to be showing you just techniques here to just make some loops. Now with the head pins that are already here, so I'm going to be making simple loops because they are sturdy enough to hold these beads, and I don't have to do wrapped loops. Now if I had something that wasn't quite as sturdy, then yes, I would go and make some wrap loops, but I want to make sure that they are straightened out because it's hard to get any beads on if it's all crooked. So yeah, so I'll just show you a couple, and then I'll do the rest off of camera, and then we'll put it together. Okay, so everyone, I'll be right back just so I can bring out a couple, and so we don't have all this in our face. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. First I want to get the pieces or the beads on this particular piece that I made here, and hopefully I'll be able to bend this. Like I said, this is very thick and it's heavy duty, so it's not one of the thinner ones in the memory wire. So you will need, if you are going to use memory wire, you are going to need your memory wire cutters and very good, very good round nose pliers and everything. So I had already created a little right here, as you can see, my little jump ring, and I made that out of my, where is it? Where'd it go? It's my copper from my Parawire, and it's 18 gauge. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put that on here. Okay, and I'm just gonna let it just kind of pull it a little so it'll just go right in there. So that's going to be the front there, but I do want to put a couple of beads here And I'm not worried about whether there's some gold showing in between. So I'm going to go ahead and stick on one of my I'm going to get that down in there. Okay, so as you can see, that's sitting right there. And then I'm going to put on this side, I'll probably have like 2. Okay. Yeah, let's see. So what I'd like to do now at this point, see, I told you I'd forget. Okay, so this was, let's try this. I had forgotten already. Hold on. See that? And yeah, that's not going to go down there. That's not how I wanted it. All right, so I think this one went here. See, I knew I should have taken a picture or wrote it down. Okay, so just kind of like sitting like that. And all right, I guess it's a work in progress as we're sitting here, so let me put this on. And I'm going to put on the scroll. Yeah, something doesn't, oops, the other one. So it's going to go backwards, and then this one here, and then one in the center. I think we got the round bead here, then one of these, and then that. So yeah, I think that's how it should be. All right, guys, hold on. Okay, I got it straight now. So basically it's one on each side here, and then one that just sits here. And the reason for that is because when we put these on here in this order, oops, so you're going to put on one of those crackled glass, and then another scrolled bead cap backwards, okay, and then this one with the wide side down. Then we're going to have the little round. As you can see, it has a nice AB finish on this. It's pretty. They're just little 4mm rounds. And then that one here. Oops. And then this one here. Okay, so before I put the other side on, I want to try to close this one. Okay, and hopefully I won't break anything. So there's a remainder here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and really give it a good grip on this without busting the other beads. So I'm just gonna bring it around. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh boy. Just want to make that loop around. Ooh, that's tight. Now if you can get it most of the way around, at some point you can use another tool to close that. And that's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to have to. I'm already getting these beads where I don't want them to be. Okay. Alright, so if I have to straighten that out a little. And again, I want to make sure that that's closed. Okay. Alright, now let's do this without, hopefully we won't break our beads. Alright, so now the next one here. So this should be up right in there. Okay. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just put this one on. Oops. And the scroll bead cap. The other one in the opposite direction, so that it's looking like that. Okay. I'm going to put the wood bead, the other 4mm round, and then your Amazonite. I can never get that one right. Alright, here we go. Gotta be gentle. Ugh, I'll tell you. And I don't have the one that is, I don't know, a little bit more flexible. This is the only wire that I have. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get that to come over as much as possible. Okay. Oops. Alright, so now and again, we're going to have to adjust this so that they are, as you can see, one is kind of, it's not how I want it to be. So I'm going to finagle it somehow. Okay, get this one the other way, and just try to make it as okay, so I really want that closed. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down. Okay, so let's see. So this is what I have, and this is going to hang so it's not straight up and down. I want it to kind of have that nice curve to it, so it's going to be like that. So far, this is what we have. The hard part is over. You ready? Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to make your connectors, and then we'll go ahead and connect the necklace together, and we'll see what that length is at that point. Alright, so let me get that together. Okay, so here we just have the simple loops, and if you don't have pins or head pins that are sturdy enough, just go back and watch some of the other videos that show you how to do a wrap loop. But for now, we're just going to do the simple loop, And I already measured this, so there is, this is right about where I do my mark, which is kind of perfect. I probably should remark that because I could hardly see it now. Where did it go? There it is. All right, just where I normally do mine. Okay, so this is simple, very simple. Facing that in the same direction. Got your scroll, you put one on the opposite direction, and then your bead. Okay, so we have that. Now you want your loops facing the same way. If it's not, excuse me, if it's not facing the same way, don't worry, we'll take care of that. Now in some of these you can just bend it over, but because these are crackled glass, it's very easy for these to just break apart at those at those lines here, okay? So at that time you want to take this, okay, and you want to go in the same direction. Go right up against that bead, but then hold the beads in place, go up just a wee bit, okay? And then gently bring it over, okay? And then we're going to cut to the size that you want. Make sure that your loops are consistent, because that is going to make a difference on when you are connecting them on each side of the strand. And of course, if you have any issues, you can, you know, make your adjustments. And then you're going to go ahead, go on your mark, because that is where the same one is. And then, of course, if you have too much, you know, if one loop looks bigger than the other, just make your adjustments. Okay. Just be careful with your beads. Okay, so from here you can see that they are not exact. So you can take and hold one and, excuse me, and then get another, you know, and then just make sure that your pliers are facing the same, and you know that your loops are facing. Okay, so we'll put that one aside. All right, so the next one we have is this one here. Same thing, just make sure your pins are straight. I'm going to go ahead and pop that in there. Make sure that my my head pin is not overlapping. Okay, and then it's bend it. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Everything getting snagged. Oh, I may have to cut a little bit more of that. Not too comfy with that size. It's, you know, and again, sometimes you just have to eyeball some stuff here to get it to that perfect size. Okay. And then I'm just going to make sure they're facing the same direction. Okay. And then we have this one here. So, I mean, I think you get the gist. I'm just making this, doing it together with you guys on here, you know, just to chit-chat, I guess. Oh, wait. Can't forget, we want to get, this is where you got to make it straight, because when you have the smaller beads with the smaller holes, they don't go in the same. And you know what? I think I need to, it's a little, a little scratchy at that end. Okay, then your 8mm, 4mm, and I'm just going to hold it with my thumb, and then I'm going to bend over that pin, cut and roll, cut and roll. And I think yet again, let me take a little bit more off of that, just a tad. So you do it so often, you kind of get used to what size you're looking at. It's not always easy, and you don't always get it right, but it's good that if you practice enough, you'll know that your eye pins are pretty darn close in size on each end for your loops. Okay. Then we're going to do the wooden bead. And the reason why I wanted to show you the difference, you know, because this is smaller, and then you got your connecting with different size beads here. This one here is, I'm using a wood bead, but I'm also using bicones. And a lot of times, if that hole is big enough here, you'll be able to settle in one end of the bicone, and it'll just sit in there nice and snug. So, but for this one, I absolutely want to make sure that I do not just bend it over the bicone. I want to use my tool for this, and that is because the bicone wants to follow that curve, and then you just won't end up with the correct measurement for your loop. Okay, so, and usually when you get your bicones, you'll find that one end is a little bit longer than the other. And so, when you're picking up, you know, ones that are not Swarovski or whatever. So when you see that, when you see the skinnier one, put that one towards the hole so it'll sit in nice and snug. So neither one of these actually has one. These two seem to be pretty uniform. Okay, so here's my loop. So I want these facing the same way. So I am going to take and make sure that, you know, my beads are all the way down, snug in where they need to be. And I'm going to take that tool, go right up against that bead, make sure it's in there, and then just come up a little bit and just bend that over. This way I'm not cracking the bead, I'm not having the bicone go over that curve and then end up getting a incorrect measurement for your loop. So let's see, would that be good enough? Maybe just a teeny bit more. All right, so let's see. Let's go on that mark. And then bring that right down. Okay, and then we can just make sure it's nice and straight. All right, so I have the other ones already set. So let's move this out of the way. All right, so it's going to be like this. Like that, and hopefully we won't have any issues. The wooden bead, that, and that. So I think that's how I want it here, and now hopefully I'll have enough of these. If I don't, then I'm gonna have to make some more. So I did want to use 2 in between each one. It doesn't look like I'm going to have enough for that. These are the last of my copper ones that I have in my stash, so I may have to get some more. But so right now, just for technique's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and make them connect them with just one jump ring. And this one's stuck in there. All right, so I think most of you know how to open up a jump ring, but for those that are new, let's just go ahead and open up our jump ring. Now, sometimes you will get some that are closed and some that are open, or you may have opened it and just simply put it back in when you didn't need it. So let's see. So I think I want to do it like this. Let me just start putting it together, because I am going to have to measure it, because, you know, I just made the components. I have not even measured it yet. So we'll go with the other side. So I'll do a couple, I'll show you a couple, and then I'll do the rest of connecting it off of camera. And, you know, the beautiful thing about, like, teal colors and stuff, it is just so amazing for the entire year. You don't necessarily need to have, you know, these colors only set for summer or whatever. I think this just beautiful all year round, you know. To me, it's just so pretty. All right, I want to make sure that my feather is facing the right way. And let's do another one. I just really like these colors. I love copper and teal and aqua. It's just so pretty, so pretty. All right, so so far that's what we have. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these and see how it looks, and I'll be right back. All right, so this is it here. I actually turned it over so that I can put my clasp on. So let me just show you what we have. Okay, before we put the clasp on, I just think this is so cute. And yeah, so this is pretty much what we have. And I just think it's such a beautiful, you know, all year round. This would look nice with so many different outfits. And having that beautiful abalone shell feather here is just going to make it that much more unique. All right, so let's get the clasp on. I'm going to turn it around because I am right-handed. So I want to be able to put on the clasp on this side. So I made jump rings here. This one is an 8mm. These are about 5.5, 6mm. And so I am going to use those. This one was already pre-made. This one came in, it's actually chain mail, so it's definitely more precise in its size, but I need to close that. And I want to make sure that it's nice and straight. Alright, because that's going to be where our clasp hooks onto. So now I can put that there, connect that here, and give this a nice close. Oh, I hope that I'm in frame here. And all right, so we have that end and this one here. Now I measured it, it's about 16 inches, but with this it's going to add about an inch, maybe a little bit more. And you could always add more, you know, just by extending it with some jump rings. And it's because, again, I like to have my necklaces where they're not hanging down, you know, in my cleavage. I'd rather have it up on the higher part of my sternum, because again, if you're wearing like a V-neck or whatever, it's easier to, you know, that it's seen easier wearing a necklace that's a little bit shorter, but yet not a choker, you know. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. And voila, look at that. Isn't that just pretty? So I am going to try it on for you. Okay, so I just want to make sure that it fits properly, and if any adjustments are made before I show you, then I'll let you know what those are. But here it is. Isn't that just really, really cute? All right, so let me try that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, here it is. I think that having all your loops pretty much right on with its size, you can get a beautiful necklace that is just even on all sides, so that, you know, you don't have one side with this way up here. They are right across, and I think that this is so adorable. It's just fun, and it's so pretty. And I was actually quite surprised when I, you know, tried it on, obviously, and looked in the mirror. I was just like, wow, this is actually prettier than I expected. So, because like I said, I was like, I'm sitting here for hours trying to figure out what to do, and I just could not think of anything. And I'm like, you know, let me just revisit some of the other stuff that I already have in my stash. And, you know, this was stuff that was from the bargain bead box in March this year. So yeah, and you know, it's, to me, it's just so pretty. So now all I'm going to do is seal everything, because again, with these crackle beads here, they are, I guess it's just dipped, they're dipped in that color. So, you know, any sweat or water and stuff can kind of rub that off. And I don't want that. I love the color, so I'm going to seal it in there. And so I just, wow, it is just such a beautiful piece, because it's natural. You have the Amazonite or Amazonite. I find it easier to say Amazonite, because trying to say Amazonite is, I don't know, it's a tongue twister or a lip twister for me anyway. So yeah, everyone, if you still have some of your bargain bead box, if you are somebody who is a subscriber, you know, go ahead and, you know, just have fun with it. I think that, you know, and putting other pieces with that has that natural effect, I'd say go for it. Anyway, so I had a good time today. So everyone, I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I'm going back to work, and then I have vacation after that. I'm so excited. So I'm trying to get in as much as I can for you guys, because when I go on vacation, I'm just, that's what I'm going to do, is just stay away from everything and just chill out. So everyone, I hope that you have a beautiful night. God bless. He loves you. So have a glorious, glorious day, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone. Mwah. Peace. Bye-bye.